Hargreaves, the chance for Torquay. Chris Hargreaves, the captain. If he stays offside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benny. Sills.
Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Gull'S View. Another disappointing week. I've been a Torquay United fan and we're all here for it. It's probably the only episode I'm going to record with a blanket out of camera.
Bless you.
And we were talking about just wearing our own hats during it, but no, I've got headphones on. But yeah, it's the winter and the football is terrible. So it's New Year, same old Torquay. So we drew 2-2 against Eastbourne. Obviously, on paper, that goal might have been offside, but the performance was shocking. It was. I wasn't there. I was watching on stream, so I could be one. I was a season ticket holder, and I paid £10 to watch it, and I was like, "What am I doing? What
You're
am I
paying
doing?"
money after you've paid money already.
I was like, "What is the point? The whole point of not going to watch Torquay is I don't have to watch Torquay." I thought I'd just have it on, do my analysis, and then I just wrote. I had a pad. I was like, "Let's do some professional analysis." And then
that is the definition of a proper fan, right there. He pays his money for a season ticket and then pays for the
story. Well, I just believe in the club so much, in one club United. Any bit of money I can give towards George Edwards, Clark Osborne is just what I want to do.
Those lovable rogues.
United. Anyway, enough of that rubbish. We are as far away as you can be from one club United. Right, who wants to start? Chris, you were the most angry on Saturday.
Are you?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
They're angry actually. Yeah, usually you're the sort of softest one, but you were really
reasonable is the word I was used on, not softest. No, yeah, that's probably not true actually. Yeah, it just bugged the living daylights out of me. I think as much as anything, it was just the whole. I think what got to me was just the whole atmosphere around the ground was just so apathetic before the game. During the game, and I just thought to myself, there's so much you could do with this club, and there's just a life has been sucked out of match days there. They don't do anything in terms of a match day experience, which is a different conversation. But I just thought the whole experience is just lifeless, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yet again, what was on the pitch was just so poor. I mean, those players are out on the pitch representing the club. I mean, 5 or 6 of them shouldn't be anywhere near, even at this level. And I think
I agree.
You'd get away with it if you had your Lapsleys and your Jarvis and your Ash and your players are in and around them. But to have them all in one team, the quality, the pitch wasn't easy, which didn't help. But there were players playing in that game it was just so poor in that first half. And and of course that's 1 point from 2 games against Eastbourne and Truro at home.
Yeah.
And if our home form drops off a cliff, my dad wistfully said, walking away, I can see us not getting in the playoffs here. And
I agree. I totally agree. We don't deserve the playoffs. God. We don't deserve the playoffs.
Someone had to add to it by saying that by the time we played in the league game, we'll have played 4 more home games than we will away. I was like, no, more away games. So, it's just, again, I think the frustration, I did agree with the article that Dave Thomas wrote yesterday, that, if the lines were pretty slag up, you win the game 2-1, you've struggled on through and you've got the 3 points, which is what you needed. But, it just kind of sums up where we are now, that you can't see something as obvious as that.
It's a joke.
A couple of ricochets, a couple of bobbles, but that was just clear as day. But it was just really.
It's soul destroying watching this lot try and play football, isn't it? I'd had a good morning. I'd watched my daughter play basketball, plenty of enthusiasm, enjoyment in the morning. I had a drink with the lads beforehand. It was nice, and then the game begins. And
it's always part of the day.
I try and be positive. I think to myself, right? Be positive, try and will them on, which I always try and do. But mistake after mistake, and just such simple errors and simple misplaced passes, all throughout
goals.
Throughout most of the game, to be honest. But in the first half was just tragic, wasn't it?
It is pathetic.
I know this is a patched up team. There are some excuses for that, but the failure to just be able to do anything was just palpable throughout.
Every goal we can see recently, and my dad pointed this out, is someone's on the floor, someone's slipped, someone's been pushed over, someone's lost their man, someone's ricocheted it. There's some stupid, pathetic excuse of a defence on every goal. I've never seen a defence be such a poor unit.
Defensively, we're just all out of shape, aren't we?
And these are good. I think these are all right individuals.
People don't seem to be in the right positions, do they?
No.
We're all over the place.
Absolutely, I don't think anyone's taking charge. And there's no straight line in the defence. They're all sort of doing their own formation. Yeah, and so they only had to play a ball into space over the top, and suddenly their striker who worked hard.
A better team in Eastbourne batters us like Wrexham did 6-0, Chesterfield did 5-1 twice, and all that last year.
But we saw that like 18 seconds in, didn't they? They had an attempted goal from kickoff.
Yeah.
And it was the same. They played the same ball all the time. One long ball forward, and we were in trouble.
There's two or three things that are happening, and it's either a mix of them or one of them. One, the players are knackered from the intense training regimes. Two, the players are very unfit, which could mean the same thing, and lazy and inept. Three, the players have just lost the fun of playing under Gary Johnson and for the club. Could be a bit of all three, but it's so just the players that these are full time. They're so knackered. They're just spent all the time. Honestly, like Eastbourne, if they were just a bit better, easily beaten us. We didn't deserve.
They were chucking men forward at some points, and they were getting one man over, two men over. I'm like, where's our players?
As you said,
they were great on the counter attack.
I have a block about going to Playmore right now, which is mental. Club I've gone to support, through times as bad as these for like years, because it's I'm so angry with this whole one club united, and then they do exactly the opposite thing. I feel so uncomfortable every time I go to the Playmore. It's so depressing because there's nothing really to get behind, in a sense that they're just ready for an excuse at you. There's no kind of accepting of their errors off the pitch, and like that maybe Gary Johnson has gone past what he can do for this club. It's very difficult to rebuild a team after a playoff. It's very difficult to rebuild a team after you've lost your best players. It's very difficult to rebuild a team after you've got relegated. And then to keep making the same mistakes, where is accountability? And there's no apology. It's, I'm going to say it out, or, the support club for the bad times. It's just all these things thrown at us. Where is the fans forum gone now? The next bit, where is that next bit? Where's all the noise gone? We went into a National League South game without a striker. Yeovil of signing players for fun just to make sure they've got a good squad.
You're in trouble when Taunton are able to sign players and we can't.
Yes.
I genuinely don't know he's trying though. And that sounds odd, and there was a lot of talk. I think we said last, we can't go to a game with Marshall up front, but I don't know he's trying because he will know how close to fitness these people are. But the problem we're going to have, and I think he is kind of hiding behind, the fact that these players are coming back, and we now know we've got 8 games in February. All of them.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, well, maybe, but I think he's hiding behind the fact that these players are coming back and they're nearly back. But the problem is, all of them, probably with the exception of Ash, are all injuries that are going to take a bit of time to get back. You're not just going to turn up and start playing. A lot of them, your Dawson injury, Jarvis has been out for a long period of time, so they're going to need some time to build up match fitness and when they're back training properly. So it's not just a case of they'll appear and it'll all be okay. But again, I just think that on Saturday, I found the whole. I said to you that I found the whole post-match stuff and riled me as well. I wasn't very embarrassing on Saturday, clearly, because the interview was as passive as always, and an interview with Dylan De Silva irritated me as well, because there was it was just kind of like, these things happen, we go on to the next game. No, you just haven't beaten a side in the bottom 4. You need to be doing these things, and we're just accepting of it and go, we've still got 21 games to go. Oh, no one panic. We're not in the playoffs in a part-time division with 21 games to go. It's all okay. No,
it's not okay. Of being a poor football team and just going and doing the same thing.
The noises from the club at the start of the season was not just promotion, title. If we were 8th place in the National League or League 2 right now, you can say, it's annoying, it hasn't quite happened. We've still got an outside chance getting the playoffs, promotions. I think, when Johnson, and that's second to last season National League. When we went on that good run and there was a real outside chance, average 2 points. Yeah, okay, I'll get those noises then. We're in the National League South, mate. Like, honestly, and that's the noise was promotion. Don't accept that to your fans and keep saying Football League. If you want to be in the Football League, if you want to get promotion to the National League, you have to be a National League standard team and the National League standard South to get there. We were last time, evidently. And when we went into the National League last time, we had a squad of players with a couple of signings, could have challenged. We then started challenging next season. Injuries ruined us because, hey ho, look what happens. And then we come mid-table. Then we know what happened the following season with that squad. This year, all right, a miracle happens. We get into the playoffs and we somehow manage to be strong enough to beat these teams. I don't want barely of these players at this football club next season. Honestly, it needs and Johnson's like a complete fresh start. Doesn't matter where we are. Look at this when you're going back up. If this squad now goes back up, who do you want? Jarvis probably won't stay. Maybe I don't know. Obviously
that's the ominous thing, Sam, isn't it?
I
said that at the start of the season. Who are these?
Not looking forward. Why didn't they rebuild a new team? As you said, in the shopping trolley, they spent it all in aisle one. Getting your assets is good when it's Armani Little, because you can sell them, when it's Joe Lewis, when it's Lemonai Evans, when it's 36, 37-year-old players with bad injury records, and Dawson and Lapsey, who, as great as he is always injured. What's the point of maintaining that asset? No one's going to buy that asset at the end of the season, and they're not going to help you. How do people get jobs in this industry and then do the same mistakes and go, right, let's do exactly the same thing next year? It's absolutely mental.
Sam, short-term thinking. I'll get the same players going.
It's another.
I want results straight away. I'm not thinking of any long-term plan here. He wants to get results as soon as possible, but he's not got a fit squad, has he? It's ridiculous. He can moan about injuries if he likes, but a lot of that is down to his recruitment and the way the training has been set up.
I think what Liam Davis says on that podcast, I feel knackered before games. He said on Talkie podcast a couple of years ago, I'm in my reserves on the game. He pushes us to, we get pushed a lot.
Yeah, I don't. It's hard to know if that's true or not. Just because one person said it doesn't.
But
you
look at the stats. You look at the stats.
I think you look at. It's not just the injury record. It's what they are. Because what happened to Jarvis, that happens. The bloke White went through him, took his knee with him. Yeah. People, you get impact injuries. That's football. That happens.
Yeah.
But there's a lot. You look at what happened to Stobbs. He's running away from somebody, and then all of a sudden, ping. And you look back to even back to players like Jake
played the most games out of anyone.
People like that.
Dawson. How was that injury not seen? How did that go?
But again, what is it? What is it they talk about in the Premier League? It's the red zone, isn't it? They talk about they start to withdraw players when they're in the red zone, which gives you I don't know how sophisticated the technology is at that level, but they talk about withdrawing players when they're in the red zone, don't they? When they're at a high risk of injury and pulling them out of games. But it feels a bit like
you got people like Kraft who hasn't played for months. Has he ever had injury problems before he came to play? Or I don't know. And you got somebody like Ross Marshall. I mean, as soon as he sprints, along the touchline after about 8 minutes, that's him done, isn't it? He's just absolutely knackered. No core fitness, have they, these guys?
No. And it's all hush-hush. Like, I get, Gary saying, we don't want to give away our secrets, but with all due respect,
it's not working with it, is it?
It's not working with it. And you look at our only recruiter is Pete Johnson, and he sat on the bench on a Saturday afternoon watching the game when he should be out there going about to other clubs and having a look at what's available. It's embarrassing, and it's just so frustrating. But the injuries as well, like the Stobbs one, he was holding onto his hamstring about 2 or 3 minutes before
he twinged it when he took a corner.
But it's not smart. They're not looking ahead. They're not thinking, let's be smart here. Let's take him off and try and prevent anything worse.
It's all about short term. We want to win the game, keep playing until they're done. That seems to be the way we play it. So.
Since this One Team United, this online fans forum, we've lost 2 games, drawn 1.
We've been a disaster. Pathetic.
We've been a disaster. And as I said to you guys, talk is cheap.
Yeah.
It's all good saying these things, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But we've failed, and we're failing in this part-time league. And the only way I can see us going up is finishing second. But even that looks a long way away now. I know it's quite congested there. And there's they'll say, we've got 21 games to go, but we've played 14 games at home. We've only played 11 away.
I think we're coasting until hopefully Dawson and Jarvis come back.
That's a dangerous game to play, Dom.
That's their hope, isn't it? The team improves towards the end of the season.
That is such a dangerous game to play.
Yep.
It's almost arrogance. We're too good for this level. Well,
it is. It's arrogance. Teams are outplaying us. We'll get battered like we did at Dartford, like we did, in the playoffs.
Let me put it this way. We have the second best home form in the division at the moment, but we have the 15th best away from home. And we've only played 11 away games. It's not great.
Even when we had the players all,
Yeah, we weren't great when we had all these players. No, we were not good at all.
Yeah, I think the irony as well is that I still think if you get all of that, I've got the programme in front of me again, just for a little bit of research. Kraft hasn't played since the end of October for those fun facts that are interested in.
Really?
If you look at, I thought we were an attacking player light at the start of the season. And that was even before Collins was pretty much non-existent between August and January.
Don't get me started on
what has happened to him again? Oh my god!
Exactly. So Ashton Jarvis come back. I still think we're short of an attacking player. My dad and I disagreed on Foyo on Saturday. He thought he had a decent game. I thought he was ineffective. I thought he didn't outpace anyone. He didn't outmuscle anyone. He didn't win any tackles. He didn't win any duels. He didn't win any headers. Again, he was another player. He doesn't look like he doesn't. Is there a player in there?
I don't want to go in too hard on these players because they're thrown into the situation.
Yeah, he's a kid, isn't he, again?
You're talking Foyo, he's not a target man striker, is he? He's not a Jarvis.
I don't want to write him off, but he's just been thrown in.
The Jarvis role, isn't he?
I don't know where he is right now. That performance on Churro was a bit alarming for me. There's something not quite ready there. And
again, this is like a massive generalisation from
He's offside all day.
I think he clearly has a short fuse because twice, bearing in mind he got booked at Chelmsford, he got subbed after being booked after half an hour against Truro, and then twice on Saturday he started going for people, and Archer was in the vicinity and ran up to him and grabbed him and pulled him away like before he did anything else. As if
I don't mind that if he's actually like not standing outside and scoring. But he's not doing. I mean, I don't mind. You know what I mean? Like, all right, you think, right, you're a good player. Let's manage it. But when you're really not delivering on the pitch and you're doing that, that's like, no, this is not.
He's used to playing against other youngsters and getting his own way, isn't he? So he's now.
But there's being aggressive and saying to people, "Oi, stay away from my mate," and there's going into deck people, which it kind of felt like Archer reacted very quickly twice.
Engage your footballing brain. Just don't get involved. He
showed some decent touches. I thought he did roll the.
It was offside half the game, honestly.
Yeah,
I don't want to go in too hard.
I don't want to either. But these are professional footballers. They're coming to play for our football club. If you think you're too good, I'm not saying that you is, but you've got to make it. These players are not built for this. These players are not built for the game at the moment. These players are not taking responsibility. These players do not realise what it is. It's a generation thing, as I said before a few months ago, maybe. But they're not doing it anymore. I don't understand what's happened to Lewis Collins. Every week we say the same.
These guys need to be on the bench for a bit, don't they?
He can't pass a football, man. What's happened? The amount of times he lost the basic football. Honestly, it's just...
He's had one good game.
To spend a bit of time.
But that's a bit on the management as well. Like, such a good player last season.
Let's not forget Gary Johnson's target as well at the start of the season was averaged 2 points a game. We're 25 games in, we've got 41 points. If I've done my maths correctly, that's 1.64 points a game that we're averaging at the moment. Yeovil are averaging 2.24. And they're
you must read the Talky Talk articles, Dom, wasn't he?
Yeah. Someone had to.
Do you know what as well? Do you know something else I was thinking as well? And this sounds ridiculous, and Don will say that I'm saying it, but but we're now almost in a situation talking about Foyo. I'm not going in on it, but fundamentally he's in a professional football team now that's got to get 3 points every week. We're now almost back to a position where we were last season, whereby anybody who comes in has to perform now. Because we are so far away from where we need to be. I mean, Yeovil win tonight. What are we? 18 points behind them or something? If we are all of a sudden players who come in, your Jarvis, your Ash, whatever, you can't, 2 or 3 games off the bench, get your fitness up. They've got to perform right now. And if they're
is the pressure on from the manager and the club to perform? Are they under that sort of pressure, or do they just get thrown and go, well, do your best, lads. We'll see. If we don't win, I'll say the V. We might win next week. Is there a real push? I feel like we've developed a losing mentality at Torquay where we haven't really got that.
Well, Johnson used to be like
comes out in his interviews, I think.
Yeah, exactly. The Johnson of 2 years ago when we were bad at the season after the playoff game, the playoff season, and we were poor. Johnson was coming out and going, "Yes, some of these lads need to perform. They're not up to it. I'm really disappointed. I'm going to look elsewhere." And we got better. And now I don't hear any of that because if Johnson says that every week, they're not going to play for him. So Johnson's probably in this position where if he slags them off too much, they won't listen. But then he's got to get them on the side to try and get something out of them. But
he's not got team structure yet.
Yeah, it's no structure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, go on.
He's burnt his bridges. Now Lee Johnson's left. Yeah, it's just looks hopeless. I was absolutely dreading that team sheet when it came out at 2:00 on Saturday because honestly, I was still trying to work out what A formation we were going to play, B who was going to be the front pair, and we can say about the last minute goal being offside. It probably was. Looked it on the stream.
It happens.
But how many times did we test the goalkeeper?
Exactly.
Not many.
Did he make a save?
Goals.
Did he make a save?
Lovely goals, two of them, of course.
When your team is down
on numbers,
when your team is down on numbers and stuff like this, it really is up to the manager to set them up right, get them organised.
And that's why I asked from a manager.
You can grind out these. We should be able to grind out.
It just needs to be well structured and do a bit of patterns of play like we did on the 2 goals, and you're okay. That's what I want from a manager like Gary Johnson. It's not just this rubbish. Just give structure. Oh my God, it annoys me so much.
Get the defence set right. Yeah. And you shouldn't concede against Eastbourne or Truro. We should be winning both of those games.
But Don, the issue is not the defence. The defence is not the issue in this structure. The issue is the midfield. If you look at every single game,
there's a whole team.
But just because there's no protection for it. Yeah. The defence are just left exposed time and again.
I'm including the midfield in that. It's the whole defensive setup of the team. It's not
the whole Gary Johnson. He's how many years, how many promotions, and how badly structured is it?
I cannot for the life of me understand because he regularly talks about, we've done our homework, we've watched the game back, we sit with the lads on a Monday and watch the game back, and they have their own little videos and all this. I'm going to go on to a Sam-style rant here. I cannot for the life of me understand how anybody who watches that football and those matches back, who has any kind of say, any kind of football ability, knowledge, I'm just some bloke sat in the stand with an opinion and I can see it. So I don't see why else. The issue with all of this, you look at the Truro game and you look at the Eastbourne game, you look back to Hemel. These games are like by games of basketball because there is no midfield, and that is not about the individuals that are in there. There is no structure. You have McGavin, who's trying to do everything. He's trying to take the ball off the defence. He's trying to find a pass. He's trying to find a killer pass. He's trying to find a long ball. And then in front of him, there is absolutely nothing. There was no solid structure to that midfield at all. And again, Eastbourne, just like Truro, they just came flooding through that midfield time and again. You've got Collins just wandering about, just doing whatever it is he's doing. I don't know what it is. You had Jenkins Davis, kind of like a diamond, but there's just no structure. There's no, and again, with it, it's not about players. It is not about players because the players we have available, you can structure better than that.
Yeah, and they should be doing much better than that.
Old-fashioned and saying 4-4-2, and that team you could have set up a midfield four of De Silva, Jenkins Davis, McGavin, Collins. You have a structure, you have a 4-man midfield, and you have 2 banks of 4, and you have a bit of structure. You've got protection to the wingers, from the wingers to the right, to the full-backs. You've got protection to the centre-backs, to the midfielders, and then you can get up and back and chase up and back as you do. Just a bit of structure, because McGavin is there on his own, and as soon as the ball turns over from one of our attacks, if Jenkins Davis or Collins or whoever has got forward, they just come flooding through.
And McGavin gets pressed on.
No structure.
As soon as McGavin gets pressed on, every time it happens, he loses the ball.
He's 30 yards away. He picks the ball up opposite
and then there's this massive gap from the defence there. It's just
that is the biggest problem, and until that changes, and against crap sides, you can just pick up the ball, find the space. They don't press you. You can play a ball out. You get to Silver in, whoever you've got running around. But against an average side, they'll work out what you've got to do is press from the goal kick, which is what they did. And then as soon as McGavin's got the ball, he's going to be like, right, so it goes back to Moxie, so it goes to Tomlinson, back into McGavin. Oh, no, hang on, I haven't got an option. Let's find a ball. And it's just all so slow, and the ball doesn't move with any pace. And it's just all because of the fact that the structure is so wrong.
And other teams seem to have that game plan set up. I mean, look at Truro when we played them. I mean, first 20 minutes, they're all over us. Had they had full-time fitness and be able to carry that out properly, they'd have comfortably beaten us that day. It was only because they tired that we could get into the game and think, right, we could do this. And we still couldn't.
But if you look at that Truro game,
Eastbourne have been with their manager for 2 days before that game and still look defensively better than we did, which is embarrassing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's the point, Dom. What did Truro do in the first 20 minutes? Repeatedly.
They kept on nicking the ball off of us.
They turned the ball over. Exactly. They turned the ball over and they just came straight through. It's like, it was just like an open gate. As soon as we lost the ball, they turned over the ball and they just went straight through the midfield. Time and again, they could go wide, they could go down the sides. We gave the ball away.
Rookie manager. It's like rookie manager.
Coming straight through.
Or is it that he's telling them and they just can't take it on? And overall, that's a big failure between the management and the playing staff.
It's the structure of the team, and that comes back to one person or one group of people, and it ain't the players. The players do as they're told.
Yeah, you're right.
It's down to how they're set up, and they are just set up all wrong. Collins looked like a decent footballer to me. I would have played him up front on Saturday.
Yeah, I would
get
play
up
him
front,
up front,
get about some people, get over the top, get around the sides because he's mobile. But again, what did he do?
Harris, he came in, player of the month for that, right? I was saying on there how good he was, and we've managed to completely take all the good parts away from him. He's gone to pot. That's the management.
His confidence looked
the management.
The first minute on Saturday.
And of course, the management isn't the main issue, right? When the club's above, we've got these issues. Some will say that. But that's just basics. Oh my God, you don't have to be a football genius to get this squad together and just get someone that's half decent. Sick of it.
There's no standards.
That's why I don't want to go to Plainmoor anymore. That's why I don't want to go. Sorry, Tom, go.
There's no standards at this football club anymore.
No.
And if anyone had any proper Torquay fan had a shred of dignity about them, you would accept that where we are is not acceptable. 8th in the National League South after 25 games.
We beat Plymouth 12 years ago. Who did a double at Plymouth in League Two.
It's not acceptable.
That's true, Tommy. But it's up to the players to do something about it. You can
and the owners.
Everyone's in the league they're in. Everyone's where they deserve to be, and we deserve to be where we are because we got relegated. But it's about the players to do something about it, and the management to say, right, this isn't good enough. Bang, but they're not.
They all need a kick up the ass, don't they? All of them.
But then, as you said, like the Silver interview, that pissed you off because it was just, another game. No, it's not good enough. We're playing crap all season. It's not good enough, and we've lucked our way through a lot of these wins that we've had this season. And I think it's a miracle in itself that we're honest that we're even near the playoffs because we've just not been.
Let's be clear, Tommy. I'm not saying I want people to go on camera crying because we didn't win the game, whatever. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. But this is, but someone to say that, that first half wasn't acceptable. We got back into it. That's not acceptable for Torquay Football Club. That's not acceptable for.
And Collins did a while ago as well.
Yeah, that's not acceptable for what we should be doing. So we're sorry for that. We should have got the 3 points, and it's not about apologising every 2 minutes, but it's just about a bit of accountability and a bit of actually, do you know what? That's not good enough from us. We need to be better than that.
It's all happening. We're amazing. Everything's great.
But that
falls amazing.
That falls from the top. Falls from the owners to the management to the players. And this rubbish and rhetoric that the owners and the directors spew. I'm sorry, I don't buy it for a second. I didn't buy it on the online forum, and I don't buy it now. They have got no standards at this football club anymore. Any decent club would have got rid of that dinosaur. And I'm sorry to say it, but Gary Johnson is outdated. He's outdated in the modern game. That's my opinion.
He's proving it right now.
And he's proven it right now. The fact that we as a professional club, you had 10, 11 days rest before we played Eastbourne, and we come out and play such crap football on a weekly basis. It's unacceptable. And yet Gary Johnson's like, well, we've still got 20 games to go. It'll be fine at the end of the season. Well, what if it's not?
If I'm
can I just quote you? Can I quote you a paragraph from the gaffer's notes on Saturday? We're just at the middle of our season, and it could be said, if your glass is half full, we've done okay. And we've managed to get ourselves into the promotion positions. If your glass is half empty, then we hope to win you over in the second half of the season.
It's all this talk. It's all this. There's all this talk all season. I almost had it as swearing then.
And where was this guy? Where was this guy at the weekend? Where was he?
Yeah,
that's how bad it's getting. I'm missing Hanson.
It's just like it's all this rubbish. Like you're the problem, we're the problem. Moaning the fans. I can't be touched. The Torquay United fans are the issue, not me. Not the issue. I am sick of it. Yeah. If I'm the chairman, I'm losing 6 million of my money into a football club that's gone backwards again. I'm storming and going, what the hell are we doing? We're 8th in the National League South and we're just potting around like there's no issue. What is going on? Give me answers right now. I should have gone within 3 months. Oh my God, but no, it's all this. Oh, he's a great.
But proper fans support you regardless. Yeah. And just sit there and keep quiet.
Yeah, we're all doing a great job. Be great for you and have a football club. Oh, yeah, great.
How on earth are we still getting 2,000 at home, lads? How
Well,
does anyone
it
in
could
their
be
right
3,
mind turn
it
up?
could be 4. If you just ran the football club properly and just got behind us and treated your fans with respect, not to say they're fans, they always moan at everything.
We're customers.
We're customers. All that modern day owner rubbish that has ruined every football club throughout the English football pyramid are coming in. Oh, it's customers. Come on now. I've run successful businesses elsewhere. You're just my customer. For God's sake. And then all this, oh, well, we're going to do a fans forum and only, you're going to invite like 3 fans that turn up and go, I think we're doing really well. You're not going to get someone who's going, right, what is going on? Because as soon as someone says anything, you're going to get chucked out. You can make this football club so good. You could get fans in doing stuff, helping volunteer, working together, building that community event properly, getting the community involved naturally, and just helping people just get behind and feel something. We're talking United fans. We're not going to win every league game, just whatever league we're in. But just all this constant looking down and the same sorry excuses and mistakes. I just don't want to go for us a season. Honestly,
They've broken us. They're
I
breaking us.
hate it. I hate the snobbery. I hate how they look down at
They're a
us.
closed
I hate
group to
it.
me, aren't they? They don't learn lessons from anywhere else, do they? They have their little pact, and they just go
We're
by
amazing.
what
We've got
they
no
know.
queues. Yeah.
Trusting Gary Johnson and all that lot, and just stick to our plan. It's going fine, really. It will come good. They're just living in la la land, aren't they? Really,
yeah.
I think.
I keep saying though, lads, how long do you let it last? How long do you let this go until it's too late?
No,
I honestly think it's
Well, I mean, February's key, isn't it? I mean, 8 games in February. Is it 5 of them away? 4 of them away? 5 of them away? I mean, February's key, isn't it? I mean, if February goes badly,
We will be in the playoffs. I mean,
we can still get promoted,
sure,
and it'll be like, oh, you weren't moaning.
I'm not sure.
We will.
I don't think we will.
I think the league is
right
at
now.
a low level. No disrespect to all the teams, but I think we'll be in the playoffs because we'll just win enough games. And even if we lose in the playoffs, Gary's job is safe, isn't it? So,
can you honestly say at this moment in time, Dom? Can you honestly say at this moment in time what we've got coming up in the next few weeks? Worthing away at the end of the month. We go to Maidstone in a couple of weeks in February. I can't see us winning there. No, I can't see us winning at all.
I doubt we'll win there either, but we only have to win 2 or 3 of the other games.
But
you only have to win half the games of this league, as we're showing. We've only won 13 out of 25.
We can't be.
I still think we'll be in the playoffs. I can't tell you where.
So do I.
Yeah, but
I agree. But it's just how.
But it's just end of season syndrome. End of season syndrome. We were saying last year we're only 2 points off safety. Only 2 points. We're only 1 point off the playoffs. Whatever. Eventually, it doesn't work out like that, and you don't get in the playoffs. You get relegated like last season, and teams will pick up. I'm not
saying it's right. I'd happily get rid of the manager right now.
Of course,
now.
Got one more question, right?
But I think we'll still be in the playoffs.
Got one more question.
Yeah,
wrap up.
I agree, Tom. I agree.
For everyone watching this, right? Many times I got asked it on the other pod, right? So shout out to Tom Diamond who did this, right? As a question for you, when everyone watching at home.
Sam's not exclusive, lads. Clearly,
no, obviously not. So we've said it a few times. You've got a pocket of money right now. Do you give it to Gary Johnson to sign players and improve the squad, or do you use that money to sack Johnson and stay with the squad you've got right now? Many times over the last 2 years, I've said I give Johnson players. Right now, is this the first time where you go, no, I'll just get a fresh, good manager in, try and rescue what we've got with this squad? Still a difficult one.
It's easy for me. Yeah. Easy for me. Get rid of Gary. You can't bring the players in. He's got a track record now. Exactly. He can't unless it's his own son.
You can't motivate these own players to improve towards the overall standard with new, fresh coaching ideas. So just give it someone.
It's not just the short term for me. I think we just need a new manager to give the club new hope and new things. Gary might still get us up, but I just have a new manager just to give us something different than the club. Something new to look forward to every Saturday and Tuesday because it's depressing at the moment, isn't it? And I try to keep positive at games. I keep going to games, and me and you look at each other across Bristol, don't we, Chris? It's a knowing look of, is today going to be a decent day? I don't know.
Just look at his track record. As soon as he struggled at another club, he hasn't been able to get himself out of trouble.
No.
He hasn't been able to turn it around when he's been struggling. And sadly, lads, it's just come to fruition again. And for me, He's taken us down. He should have gone last season. He's not. He said, "Judge me after 10 games in the National League last season. We were 24th out of 24. We were rock bottom. This season, we're going to average 2 points a game. We want to, make football enjoyable for our fans. We want to have a good go this season. We're failing there as well."
It's about uniting the fans as well, isn't it? I'm so fed up of these sort of like Gary in, Gary out thing. You want everybody united.
Together, one club united.
Yeah, I would say we had this conversation, didn't we, towards the end of last season? And I think you would always put your money into playing stuff, because that's what put your money where. What's your currency as a football club? It's winning games of football, and you're going to do that by bringing in good footballers. But I just think something Sheridan said when we asked her, what was that, November? Around, she said the whole stadium, you could just feel the unease, and everything about it, as we've said, the whole atmosphere is just. And I think for me this season with this group of players, I think there's some good players at that club. I do. Do I think that a new manager could get more out of this squad? Yeah. Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I do.
I agree.
And I think that's the most damning thing, which was probably why I would say, well, if I had a choice between doing it now, I probably would change the manager, just because I think again, and I've said this before, if a manager that's out of work sat in the stand, if you're Chris Hargreaves or who, I'm not saying him, but whoever is sat in the stand, I reckon you'd look at those players, you look at McGavin and you think, oh, because you look at De Silva and you think, oh, he's quick. You look at Jarvis, you think, oh, he's a centre forward. Oh, I'd like to work with that. And I bet you would look at that and think, yeah, you could do X, Y, Z just from watching the game. So I think a different coach could get more out of these players.
Of course, I can.
We need to sharpen up the play. I mean, there was a couple of moments on Saturday. I dragged my mind back to it. There was a part where I think Harris had it on the left wing. Moxie made a run to the left of him. He could have passed it to him. Decided to go into McGavin, who just passed it aimlessly out for a goal kick.
He's not had some good games.
It was a really simple triangle that any team should get. Great.
When
McGavin's trying to do everything, he's the only creative player. He's the only player trying to.
Any of the touches.
There's nothing.
There wasn't. They'd not played for 10 days. They weren't tired. They should have been trained and drilled and ready.
The pitch didn't help. The pitch was really real heavy. Let's be honest. The pitch was real heavy.
But then you change your style a bit. You change it exactly the same for both sides. They managed better than we did.
When you rely on McGavin to have really good games, and he's had not the greatest couple of games in the last few, you're in trouble then.
I think there was a lot of pressure on Jenkins Davis.
Yeah, it's been a lot to be like Adam Randolph.
He played in the hole, and the ball kept on going to him in decent areas, and he just miscontrolled it too many times and got muscled off the ball, didn't he? He's a good player in the making, I think. But he couldn't. Was
McGavin playing a rather deeper role on last week? Because
he's played there for a couple of months, hasn't he? But he felt to be even deeper.
Yeah.
I think he did feel to be even deeper. Yeah.
He wasn't.
And again, the other problem is,
was he?
No, Jenkins Davis. And of course, and the worst thing, of course, is you look ahead to this trophy game at the weekend and you think, do I think we're going to go there and win comfortably? Should we go there and win? Yes.
Not even thinking about it.
They got tonked 3-0 last weekend. They had a man sent off. But we should be going there to win that. We should be going there to win that game. Do I think we will? I don't know. I do.
No.
Well, I'm making the trip. I'm going up with the travel club. I will be there supporting Torquay United. I certainly won't be supporting Gary Johnson. That's for sure. It's a game we could probably do without the trophy. You probably would want a home game rather than an away game. They're fourth in the league in the National League North. Honestly,
I think going back to recruitment, you look at the game after that. We've got Dover, so I do wonder if Chris is right that they're not really actively looking enough for players, because they probably thought, well, we've got Eastbourne, then we've got the FA Trophy, then we've got Dover, so we should be able to beat Eastbourne and Dover.
Or should have beat them on the opening day, and we did.
Incorrect already on that. But I mean, if you can't beat Dover, you can't beat anybody. They've only won 2 games all season, so that they're probably thinking, get past those games, and maybe by the end of the month we'll have a few players back.
Absolutely. Again, but you look at that week. That's a big week, isn't it? Dover, Chippenham, Worthing. That's got to be 7 points minimum. To get us going, trending forward again. We're going to have to go to one of these sides. Your Worthings, the Chelmsfords. We're going to have to go and win one of these games, because the away games we've won have all been against lower ranked sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your prediction for the Hereford game then?
2-0 defeat.
I think it'll be 2-1 Hereford, and then if you go into Dover, jumping ahead a little bit, but if you can't get anything other than a win against Dover at home, then honestly. He'd have to go. But he won't, because Torquay have no standards. The owners have no standards. But yeah, I'm going more in hope than expectation and to have a good time with my mates on the travel club. But 2-1 Hereford.
Yeah, I see a defeat as well, 2-0, unfortunately, which wouldn't be the worst thing going out the trophy, perhaps. But
no. I think it's going to be 1-1. Torquay win on penalties. Heard it here first.
Penalties?
It goes straight to penalties, doesn't it? So
I know
Winning when
us
it matters.
winning on penalties.
Us winning on penalties when it matters most.
Yeah, great. I love it with being goal
win on
winning.
penalties.
So.
Only thing I say about Saturday, we had 2 moments of quality, and Dylan De Silva, he does drive you mad, Chris, especially, doesn't he? But it is worth having.
Oh, did you notice?
It's a great finish.
Worth having on the pitch.
So annoying because he can do that stuff. It's a great finish.
Yeah. But why didn't we do it more?
It's just terrible. His crossing is just terrible.
I've only seen him have 5 or 6 shots total all season. He scored 3 goals, so he does seem to know where the
he can finish, can't he?
Yeah.
And off his wrong foot. Do you remember that goal he scored against Taunton, the FA Trophy last year? We
Amazing.
to the right hand side. I said out loud, "Or don't shoot on your left."
Yeah.
As he absolutely rushed into the top bins, as my kids would say. But yeah, he can finish, can't he? And again, good alertness to find Jenkins Davis for a second. He's got that, but his crossing in general play is just drives me.
The crosses are
you may have
lightweight,
noticed,
aren't they? They're very floated. Aren't they?
Floated. Don't beat the first man. I wanted to start overhit. I wanted to overhit a few crosses just so he's putting enough welly in it to get it in the box. It gets cut out. It gets blocked. But he can finish.
Oh, we do love our football club, don't we?
And that's why it's so annoying, because you can tell we do, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
We want to enjoy our afternoons, don't we? Go and go, yeah, how was the game today? Oh, yeah, there was this and that. Instead it's don't ask. Same old rubbish.
Yeah.
There we go. So thank you for joining us this week. Enjoy the
penalties on Saturday, Tommy. Yeah. Enjoy it, Tommy.
Yeah, enjoy it, Tommy. Well done to everyone who goes there.
I'll do my best.
I won't repeat my 13th birthday surprise of going there and losing 3-2. I don't fancy that. So
I remember that game.
Yeah, I don't want to go into it. Right. All right. So I'll see you next week. Cheers.
Here's Hargreaves, chance for Torquay. Chris Hargreaves, the captain. If he stays onside, Carlisle checks instead. He's looking for Benyon. Sells.